You saw the thumbnail and you might have clicked on it to see this beast. Hello motorcycle fans, hello CycleDrag universe. This is an unmistakable absolute monster. 6 cylinders, guys. Check it out. It is the legendary 1979 Honda CBX 1100. Believe it or not, sales were not great with this motorcycle back in 79. May even be more collectible and more desirable now. And speaking of that, we've got a ton of desirable motorcycles for you because we're here once again at the Mecum Motorcycle Auctions. So sit back, relax, and enjoy because I'm going to take you on a tour in case you couldn't be here in Las Vegas. Look at what is right next to it. No reserve. That is a 2004 Honda RC51 dedicated to the late, great Nicky Hayden. It is the Nicky Hayden edition. We've got so much to see, guys.
Honda FL250 Odyssey, second generation and highly original running condition, off-road use only, California.
What in the world is this going to go for? It's a motorcycle auction. It counts because it's a Honda. I think he wants it. $4,000. That's cool. Let's go buy it. 1983 Honda Odyssey. What kid wouldn't want that? You know, some lucky kid in the early 80s. Saw that under the Christmas tree. Piece of history here, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. One of the most unusual, out of the ordinary motorcycles Honda ever made. It is the 2004 Valkyrie Rune, 6 cylinders, 1800 cc's, and very much un-Honda-like. This isn't the type of motorcycle that they would build, but heard great things from those who had it out on the road. This motor, you wouldn't have to stress it much to do the speed limit on the highway. I guarantee you that. Great styling. Check out these wheels. It's got the very cool 5 spokes on it. Serial number 001. 2004 Honda Rune.
Mr. Turn, sir, not gonna be 30,000 of a 90, not gonna be a 9, down, beat down, 9, not gonna be 29,000 on a bid, last call, 20 bid, individual 9, internet, yes, no, 29,000 a bid.
Oh, we may go a little higher, guys. Serial number 001 is a big deal.
Want to break the tie on the bike, 28,500 a bid. Does anybody want to break the tie on that? Not gonna be 25, not gonna be all done, 28,500 a bid. George? Where'd you go there, Chief? 28.5. I'd get into their yard. I'd get a bit of a 20,005. Go close it there, and I'd get a bit of a close it at 20,000. Close it at 20, guys. We got to start with a 3.
Look at this with the pens. Welcome to Mecum Auctions. You ladies are talented. Nice work. What's your name?
Janine.
Nice to meet you. And who do we have over here?
Kathy.
Thank you guys for all the hard work keeping this auction going. So much to see, guys. We're going to be joined by John Kraman, the human encyclopedia, in a little bit. We'll get his top 5. But as for now, let's head downstairs and check in with Mike Konopacki and an unbelievable collection of Z1s. Nerves are a little high. We won't tie him up too long because he's about ready to hit the auction block and he has lofty goals. Did I mention there's a lot of motorcycles here? Oh my gosh, more than 2,000. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of who I want to cover, but I can see the Mike Konopacki collection from a mile away. Z1 fans, where are you at? There's no denying what those are. Let's go check them out. An immaculate restoration, 4 immaculate restorations. We'll see how the Pac-Man can do here as he hits the auction block. When Mike does a restoration, he's a stickler. He uses all NOS parts, and that is what the high-end collectors want. There is a reproduction market out there. You can get a lot of stuff that looks original, isn't quite, that'll cost you less, but that's not what the high-end collectors want. There's 275s. This is a 1974 right here, and this is the crown jewel of the collection. This is the motorcycle that started it all, guys. 1973 Z1900. This was dubbed the New York Steak by Kawasaki. It won up the Honda CB750 and changed the world as we know it. Gosh, if you watch this channel, how many Kawasaki Z1s, KZs have you seen on CycleDrag? It became the small block Chevy of motorcycle drag racing. This one just immaculately restored. We'll see what the Pac-Man can get for it. Mike's hoping to get $25,000 for the 73 Z1. Some of you might be spitting out your coffee, but that is not unheard of. I think he's hoping to get about $20,000 for the 74 and 75s. Shout out to one of my best friends from my childhood, Richie Bowden. He had this bike. He says he's kicking himself, wishes he would have kept it. 1987 Kawasaki 125. Guys, a special treat. One of the most knowledgeable men ever. You recognize him from the Mecum broadcast. I call him the human encyclopedia, Mr. Car Kraman. Good to see you. I know you're Car Kraman. You should also be Motorcycle Kraman. Yeah. And I promised you, we're going to see John's top 5. And we start with number 5. John, not a lot of people know Harley-Davidson made a 250 MX bike. We're looking at a 78 right now. That is your number 5 pick. Tell me about it.
Right, and well said, Jack. You know, and I picked this because, first of all, with 2,000 plus motorcycles here, they're all fantastic in their own route. But I thought that your viewers would like to kind of hear something from my perspective, some unique bikes and some mainstream bikes, but all with a little bit of a story. Starting out with, like you say, the 1978 Harley 250 MX. Really an interesting deal. Now, of course, Harley-Davidson didn't make it, made by Ermacchi in Italy, but hit the market, only 500 were built, hit the market at a time period where the Japanese were slowly overtaking the European brands for dominance in motocross racing, as we know. So Harley-Davidson kind of got caught in the middle. But what makes this particular exact bike so special is literally never been ridden, never been raced. It was sold, of course, to a Harley-Davidson dealership and was on display its entire life. It would be sort of the gold standard or the pinnacle motorcycle for a restore. They want to restore one of these to see exactly what they were like back in the day. And it actually was a pretty wicked fast, good handling motorcycle. But as we know, the Japanese were a full strength ahead with every year or two, with constantly evolving their motocross bikes, adding more power, sophisticated suspension, more suspension travel, and of course the reliability that they're still legendary for. So, but a really great example and one of my favorites here.
Very cool. That is John's pick number 5. How about the Harley dirt bike? We've seen some big deviations from the motor company lately. The live wire, the V-Rod before that. Could you imagine if they get back into this game and maybe we're rooting for a Harley out there on the Supercross track, huh? I think a lot of fans would be into that.
Never say never, brother.
All right, CycleDrag Universe, real quick, if I could tell you a story. Here's one that's really special to me. It is the 1973 two-stroke triple, not the H2, it is the S2. It's 350 cc's. That is much smaller than the H2 750, as you know. It's kind of the little brother of the H2. Well, let me tell you something. This was my dad's first motorcycle. His was blue. He got it for, are you ready for this? $935 out the door. Because of that, to this day, his racing number is still 935. Well, he turned that into a drag bike. We were working on it, gosh, this must have been 30 years ago at this point, and we drive past a yard sale, and there's one of these sitting outside, an orange one. We approached the guy was super nice. He said, well, it's a 350, so how about you give me $350 for it? Bought it, still has it to this day, a great motorcycle. Now at Mecum, this one, I believe, expected to go over $10,000. And I talked to a few prospective buyers here, and they're just saying, man, we need this for our collection. They had the S1, the S3, the S2 is the one in the middle, and it was a whole lot of fun. A two-stroke triple with a lot of snap. It's a fun bike.
2,000, here, 3, down 4, down, get a bit of 5, down 5, down 5, down 5, down 6, down, get a bit of 6, down, get a bit of 7, hit 7 here, down, get a bit of 6, down 7, down, get a bit of 7 here, 6 and 7, hit 7 here, down, get a bit of 8, down, 8, down, 8, down, 8, down, get a bit of 7, 8, down, get a bit of 7, 8, 9, and 9, down, get a bit of 9, down, get a bit of 10, down 10, down 10, hit 10, down, get a bit of 10, down, get a bit of 10, down 9,000, 10,000, you bet, hit 9, down, get a bit of 10, down, get a bit of Paulie ran 95, thought so, now 10, and now 10, down, get a bit of 10, down 10, 95 behind you, sir, down, get a bit of 10, 500. Hit 10, 5 down, not get a bit of a 5 down 10, not get a bit of a 5 down 5 here, 5. Hit 5 here down, not get a bit of a 5, not get a bit of 10, not get a bit of a 5 down 10, down 5, 5 half. Sold at 10,000, sold $10,000.
$10,000, guys. 1973 Kawasaki S2 350, finally restored. Absolutely beautiful. When I say you never know what you're going to see at Mecum, I mean it. How about a 1950 custom panhead chopper motorcycle? Absolutely beautiful. That is for sure. Look at the detail.
1950 Harley-Davidson FL Custom Chopper Panhead. Custom Harley-Davidson chopper built by Denny Fasick. Fuel tank signed by artist David Mann. Multiple award winner. Custom flame cut rear fender.
Not going to be a tongue fire. Not going to be
Still going.
Not going to be Sold 20,000. Sold 20,000. Others, Alex.
Now
Let's check out pick number 4. That brings us to pick number 4. And John, how did I guess you were going to go with this 1959 Harley-Davidson Captain America bike, a hero to many out there?
Well, and this isn't the first time that you and I have talked about one of these Captain America replicas, but I decided to pick this one this year for a couple special reasons. First of all, obviously 1969 motorcycle movie Easy Rider, probably the #1 best known motorcycle movie of all time, and probably always will be. And this particular motorcycle, the Captain America, is probably the most iconic chopper ever built. So what makes this one so special? High quality and authenticity. It's a correct, as was the movie bike, 1959 Harley-Davidson, done in the resplendent colors, the extended forks, the correct seat, sissy bar, the exhaust. It's not the original bike, but it absolutely looks like and channels it. And why I think that that's important, why I think that that's cool, is because this would be the perfect motorcycle for a guy to show and ride and enjoy. Obviously, if the real one ever went to market, it would be in the millions of dollars. This bike's going to be much more affordable than that, but it's going to channel all of that. And for Harley-Davidson fans, custom motorcycle fans, chopper fans, very, very special motorcycle here. And I'm looking forward to see what it brings. I mean, who knows? No way to predict it.
We should see. We talk about what drives this market, and it's nostalgia. It's
Right on.
memories. And people of your generation, they got a whole lot of memories involving this motorcycle. So
Right on, mate. Get your motor running.
Get your
As the Steppenwolf song says.
That's right. Well,
This is the one.
the only bad news for Harley is in the 70s, the Japanese market was about to bring a whole bunch of competition. So with that segue, let's see what Mr. Kraman picks as motorcycle number 3. Oh, Kawasaki two-stroke fans, you know we love them, especially the H2 750. We have found the quintessential collection, all 4 years represented, and it's about to roll across the auction block. Wait till you check this out. These motorcycles, dubbed the Widowmaker, debuted in 1972. This is year number 1, the very desirable blue two-stroke triple, and then we went to the purple People Eater in 1973. Check it out, 3 carburetors, 3 cylinders, 3 exhaust chambers. These things were wickedly fast. Why were they called the Widowmaker? Because you better know what you're doing if you twisted the throttle on one of these. We then go to 1974, green livery. Beautiful, guys. H2 750. These things are so collectible, so desirable. And then we finish it off with 1975. Kawasaki saw the writing on the wall. They knew there was pressure from the EPA to go 4-stroke, discontinue the 2-stroke. They were putting their efforts into the Z1 and the KZ, which it would be in 1976, but in 1975, you still had the opportunity to buy yourself an H2 750. Let's see what they go for here. This is really special. 1981 Maico over here, $490, sir. Could you please show me that photo? You know Grant Langston is a bud of ours. Check this out. Here's what Grant Langston does on this Maico. Grant, you're a bad man. Did you ever think an 81 Maico would fly like that?
No.
Grant, you're awesome, guys. He's a friend of ours. We got to call some Best in the Desert with him. One of the greatest motocross, supercross racers of all time. And here's what Grant Langston does on that bike. Mecum, it's not just for guys. We got the lovely ladies enjoying it. What's your name?
Letitia.
And?
Kristen.
And?
Brandy.
Where are you from?
Las Vegas.
Oh, you loving these motorcycles?
Kentucky.
Kentucky in the house. Well, enjoy the show. All right, pick number 3 for Mr. Kraman. We talked about competition. We talked about deviations. That's what it was all about in the year 1979 for Honda with this monster this iconic inline 6-cylinder CBX. It's your third favorite motorcycle. Tell me why.
Well, first of all, 1979, this would have been the ultimate muscle bike, no doubt about it. So you can look at the condition. First here, the Honda CBX, best known for that big inline 6-cylinder engine, air-cooled, but double overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, so much technology. It's smooth. It never really caught on. It was probably too complicated for the time period, but there's more to this other than the significance of the bike itself and the condition of this bike. How about the original owner? Evel Knievel, the man himself. Bought this motorcycle, brand spanking new. It's got about roughly 10,000 miles on the clock. And I think the combination of the fact that it's very collectible, these first-year CBXs. It's about 6 or 8 of these motorcycles here at this auction. But this one to me stands out because of that connection. That will definitely add a premium. Of course, Evel Knievel, everybody knows him. An A-lister in the motorcycle world. And just a shout-out, his son, Robbie Knievel, we just recently lost him. So to fans of Robbie like I was, man, what a tragedy, but what a legacy the family has left. So a lucky potential buyer is going to be able to take this CBX home and keep the legend of Evel Knievel trucking along.
That is so amazing. I didn't know that, and I'm so glad you pointed that out. This is a collectible motorcycle to begin with.
Right on.
The fact that you have a celebrity owner, can you quantify how much cachet that adds? Is there a percentage typically that you see in the car world, bike world?
Yeah, as a general rule, if it's somebody that's considered an A-lister in the motorcycle world, Evel would be an A-lister, probably in the top 5. You can definitely say that a safe estimate would be to double the normal price, but it could go way beyond that. You get a couple of well-heeled, deep-pocket collectors that want this motorcycle as a conversation piece, as a centerpiece for their collection. You get 2 guys, and this thing could go to the moon. So I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to this one right here, just to see how much that Evel Knievel connection. You know, we don't think of him as really being in the Honda orbit. Harley-Davidson guy, that's what he, did his jumps with and his stunts. He knew how to identify a cool high-performance motorcycle when he chose to pick this one up at his local dealership.
It's truly amazing, and as I was telling you yesterday off camera, this motorcycle may be more desirable and collectible now. I was at Daytona Bike Week, saw a 25-year-old kid riding one. He loved it. Sometimes these marketing people from the motorcycle manufacturers have to scratch their head, and I kind of liken this one maybe to the Kawasaki H2, the new one. Didn't really catch on, but it's such a unique bike that you wonder, will that be even more collectible 25 years from now and more desirable? I don't know why the CBX didn't sell better, but it's selling now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and it's going to be fun to see exactly like you had brought up. Will the Evel Knievel connection, at what level? We know the baseline on these motorcycles right now, depending on condition, are anywhere in the $15,000 to $25,000 range. Let's see what this one does.
The 449th CBX ever built.
449th CBX ever built. John Kraman selected this as one of his favorite motorcycles for good reason. I found the owner, Tim. Tim, thank you so much, man. Good to see you. Evel Knievel once owned this bike. Tell me the story.
Yeah, he bought it brand new and out of Slacks Honda in Butte, Montana. It's 449th one ever built.
Wow.
CBX.
Normally the first 500 stay in Japan, right?
Rule of thumb, but, I hear all kinds of stories, That's, we can't document it, but yeah.
And the rear tire on the back, you think that was...
The guy that owned the bike that got it from Evel was Larry Kernighan, was his orthopedic surgeon, and it's believed to be he had a sponsorship with Goodyear, and that's the tire that he always run the Goodyear white back tire.
All right, pun intended. Here's the $1 million question. What are you hoping to get for this thing?
I hope it brings north of 50.
North of 50. Well, I think you got a very good chance, especially with Evel Knievel. So thank you so much.
It's definitely got all the documentation and everything.
Here's another question. Why sell it? Just get to a point where money's more valuable, probably?
Well, no, it's not that. It's just I've got a lot of motorcycles, and I would rather go to a museum. I reached out to Robbie about 3 months ago and didn't realize that he had pancreatic cancer, because I was wanting to put it, he might want to do something with it, because it's more his. I'm sure he wrote it. Since being 79. Anyway.
Godspeed, Knievel family, but it's great their legacy lives on with it. So thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you, sir.
30, not going to be a 20 pin, and now 20 down, not going to be a 10, I'd get a bit of a 10, should do that, 10,000 a bid, in a 10, in a 10, 12 bid, I'd get a bit of a 12, I'd get a bit of a 10, down 12, down 15,000, in a 12 bid, got you, I'd get a bit of a 15, 15, I'd get a bit of a 12, I'd get a bit of 15,000, 15, I'd get a bit of a 15, I'd get a bit of a 13,000 a bid, at 13, I'd get a bit of a 13, 13, I'd get a bit of a 12, I'd get a bit of 13,000, you're done, and if you get 13, 14 bid, at 14, I'd get a bit of 14, I'd get a bit of 13,000, I'd get a bit of 14,000, 13, I'd get a bit of 14,
my goodness, guys, the CBX.
I'd get a bit of 14 last
Doing a
call.
great
14
job.
bid, and if you get 14, I'd get a bit of 14,
Great
I'd
bikes.
get a bit of 14,000, I'd get a bit of 14,000, sold $13,000, Mitch.
Now I'll bring S181 a 1990 Yamaha FZR 1000R EX up. It is a 4-cylinder production model used as a basis for factory-derived endurance and other competition race bikes, no reserve.
I'd get a bit of red the VIN there. I'd get a bit of a 15. I'd get a bit of a 10. And a 10. I'd get a bit of a 10. I'd get a bit of a 2, 3 bid, 2, 3. And I'd get a bit of a 3, 3. I'd get a 2. Hello. I'd get a bit of a 3,000 bid. In 3. I'd get a bit of a 4. I'd get a bit of a 4 down 3. Down 4. I'd get a 3 bid 4. In 4. I'd get a bit of a 4,000 bid. I'd get a bit of a 335 bid. I'd get a bit of a 3,035 bid. And 3,005 bid. I'd get a bit of a 5 bid down. I'd get a bit of a 3. I'd get a bit of a 5. In 5. I'd get a bit of a 4. I'd get a bit of a 4. I'd get a bit of a 35 down 4. And 4 to bid. I'd get a bit of a 4. 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 I'd get a bit of a 35. And yes, a 4,000 bid. And 35. Get a bit of a 4. 35 bid. I'd get a bit of a 4. 35 down.
Going cheap. Going cheap.
So 35. So 35.
Yeah, this decade has produced the Gen 3 Hayabusa. I think that's a good looking bike. And how about the Gen 1? Finally found the iconic machine we're looking for. This is the one that started it all for the Suzuki Hayabusa in 1999. This one with a tick under 7,000 miles. The people that protected these and didn't chop them up and didn't change the exhaust and didn't mod them out for the drag strip are going to be rewarded. And I don't want to disparage that because I love that. I got a 2014 that I've chopped up for the drag strip, but I can tell you this, my new one is staying bone stock because this is how they're so collectible and so valuable. It really comes down to what you like, how you want it, but this one, really a piece of history. Can you believe, too, I want to talk about this, the Suzuki Hayabusa has been out since '99. What a run. And the reason I drive that home, guys, is we look at these iconic models like the Z1, the KZ, the GS, things that have lasted, a decade or longer, but you're talking about the Suzuki Hayabusa standing the test of time. We're probably going to see a quarter century of this motorcycle, 3 different generations. It's truly amazing that it's lasted that long, and I think that really helps out all you guys out there who love drag racing. Like we talked about that Harley factory drag bike earlier. Well, this is probably as close to a factory drag bike as you're going to get from Suzuki. It doesn't take much, especially the new ones. You can drop them. The claim on this bike is you could drop it right in the 9s. The new bikes, with a few mods, you drop them right into the 8s. This one's a 2003, and it is collectible, and it is clean as well.
2001 Suzuki GSX 1300 Hayabusa, unrestricted model with only 5 miles.
5 miles, guys. 5 miles on this Hayabusa.
7 pounds in there, 7, 8 pounds in our bed. 7 pounds out of 8 pounds in our bed. 7 bed, 8 pounds in our bed. 7, 8 down, 8 pounds later down, 9. Good 9, hard negative 8 pounds out of down, 9 pounds in our bed. 5 8 pounds in our 9 pounds in our bed. 8 bed, 9 bed. 5 8 pounds in our 9 pounds in our bed. Down 9, 8 pounds another, 9 pounds another bed. 5 8 bed, 9, but when it gets stuck, but 8 pounds down 9, good 9, 5 8 pounds down 9, negative 9, down, 8 pounds and 9, negative 9 pounds, 5 8 pounds another bed, 9 pounds, 5 8 to bed, 9 pounds another, 9, 10. 9 pounds another, 10 pounds another bed. 5 9 negative 10, 10 times 10. 5 9 negative 10 to bed, 9 negative 10 pounds out of bed. Good 9 pounds.
They're looking for 10, guys. This is surprising. I thought it would go for a lot more. Unless they're just waiting.
11 pounds, 10 pounds another, 11 pounds another bed. 10, 11, 10, 11, 10 to bed, 11 negative 10 pounds, 11 pounds. George, want to get 10, 5 right quick. 10,500 out before we go.
10-5.
10-5, now 11. 10-5, now 11. 10-5, 11. Reserve is off.
Oh, reserve is off. They're going to sell this thing.
10-5, 11, down,
10-5 it's sold for. I can't believe it, guys. I thought it would go for a lot more than that. That's a bit shocking. 5 miles. 5 miles on that Hayabusa. Hey, I guess there's a lesson to be learned there. That was somewhat surprising to me. I thought the 5-mile Hayabusa, even though it's relatively new, was going to go for a lot more. It's rare to see them with only 5 miles on them. 10.5. I mean, heck, what were they new? Now they're $18,000 for a Gen 3. A little bit surprising here from Mecum. Hope you guys are loving the coverage. Let me know what you think that boost is worth down below. Well, let's see what this 2002 R1 goes for.
7 pounds, another 7 pounds, another 10 pounds, another man. Good 10, high by the negative 7, negative 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10 pounds, another man. 10. Good 10, high 8, high negative 8 pounds, another man. High 8, 9, high negative 8 pounds, another down, 9, negative 8 pounds, another down, 9. Good 9, high 8, negative 8 pounds, high 8 pounds, another man.
Looks like it's may beat the Busa unless we stall.
8 pounds, another 9 pounds, another man, down, down the bed. 8 pounds, another 10, make it 9 pounds, another man. 8 pounds, and 9 pounds, another 9. 8 bed, 9, get back at $8,500 round quick. 8 pound, 85, 100, negative 85, 9. 85, 9, 5, 95, 100, negative 95. 95, 195, 100, negative 95. 95, 100, negative 95, gonna be 95, gonna be 95. 95, $100 bed, 100, negative 95. 10, 95.
Can it beat the Busa? Will it beat the Busa?
Negative $500 bed. You take 500, negative 10 pound, $500 bed. 10
02 R1, brand new.
10 pound, 11. 10 pound, 11.
Might tie the Busa.
10 pound reserve is off. 10 pound,
They're gonna sell it.
11 pounds another bed. 10 pound, 11 pounds another bed. Down, 11.
Same as the Busa, guys. This is a little bit shocking. They may have to wait a little bit longer for the value to go up. Guys, let's check out pick number 2. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. And that brings us to pick number 2. I talk so much about the Kawasaki triple, the 2-stroke triple. I love it. But did you know, guys, a 4-stroke triple? We're taking a look at a 1973 Triumph TRX 75 Hurricane. John, why is this your second favorite motorcycle?
So many reasons. First of all, what's considered to be a factory custom. The Triumph Trident, the 750 triple that you mentioned, that's a really cool bike just to begin with. A real exotic exhaust tone, a lot of performance, did well in road racing in the early 1970s. So it's definitely known as a performance bike. But when you add the magic of Triumph and a legendary motorcycle designer, Craig Vetter, probably best known for the Windjammer Fairing series, he was hired by Triumph to make a factory custom. This is a factory production motorcycle, taking a standard Trident, but adding kind of a cafe racer light custom look that was available right from the Triumph showrooms. Love the design and the styling of these motorcycles. That exhaust note of that triple is very exotic. It looks like a custom bike, but as I said, it's not. And what makes this particular example so special, Jack, is the fact that it is in original condition. This has not been restored. It's just a nice original bike that's been well taken care of. So once again, here at this auction, the Mecum Las Vegas Motorcycle Auction, we're celebrating and we're recognizing motorcycling history, particularly those machines that are in their good original condition. And there's a couple of these bikes here, but this is by far the coolest one in my eyes because it's original. And it can still be ridden and enjoyed. Carefully, of course.
Well, I love it, and thank you for pointing it out. And I got to ask you, 73 was a big year. First year for the Z1.
Yes.
Do you think maybe this bike kind of got lost in the sauce with there being so much hoopla on the other side with the other manufacturers?
No, absolutely no doubt about it. You know, fans of motorcycle history are aware that starting in the late 60s and the early 70s, it was a huge evolution from the British manufacturers in the U.S. market with performance bikes and performance-oriented bikes, where the Japanese were taking over. And one of the reasons why this bike got so much notoriety back in the days in the cycle magazines and the testers and all that is because Triumph was operating outside the box. Now, going from their traditional twins to this high-performance triple was a step in the right direction to add some punch to their lineup. But as we know now, all these 50 years later, it was not enough to stem the tide of the Japanese invasion. But nevertheless, especially here at this event, plenty of traditional British bike fans here.
No doubt about it. A truly amazing motorcycle. Guys, I hope you're ready because we've had 4 great ones. What will be John's number 1 pick? Let's go find out. Cool.
Kawasaki Z1R in highly original running condition.
Here we go, guys. My Kawasaki Z1R. What will it go for?
Some get $5,000 for it. $5,000. 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds, 8, $11,000. $11,000, $12,000 bid. $12, 13, you get 12, 13, 13, 14. $14,000. $13, 12 bid. $13,000. 12,000, 13,000. 12, 13, 13,000. 12 bid. 12, 13, 12, 5. 12, 5. 13. Now 13, Travis. I got 12, 5, 13. You get 13, 5. 13, 5. 13, 5. And 13, 5. And 13,000, 5. 14. And 14,000. 14, 5. How are we doing, Kurt? 14, 5. Yes, sir. All the way. 14, 5. 14, 5. 14, 5. Make it 5. 14, 5. Make it 5. Put down 15. 15. $15,000. David get 15. David get 15,000. David get what I do. David get 15. 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 16. I took 15 here. I'm sorry. Gonna be 16. Give me 16. Give 16.
Wow.
16,000.
The Pac-Man.
100 down 16 bid. 100 you're out there. You got 15 bid. I'll buy you Foster's later. 16. 100 get 15. 16. 100 get 15 bid. 100 hey Sean, you want to get 15.5? You've been a good bidder. I'll take 15.5 from you. 15.5. 15.5 down 16. You're out there. 15.5 to bid. 16. Hey, reserves off. 16,000. You guys. You want to give 16? Why not? 16. Iron David get 15,500. David down 16. Someone go find a Foster's. Iron David get 16,000. So 15,000.
How about it?
16. I have 15 pound on internet drive. 16 pounds on it. I have 15.
Woo, I don't know. You guys might have to send me some super chat. Maybe we get 20 million views on this video because CycleDrag's dream bike is a H2 750. I'd love to own one someday. Really, really would. Here comes the 76 KZ900 owned by the Pac-Man.
Numbers, engine, and running condition.
Yeah, right. 15 bid. 15 get 10. 10 pound dollar. 10. Get 3, 4. 4 pound dollar. 5 pound dollar. Get 5, 6, 7. Get 8 pound dollar bid. 8 pound dollar. 9 get 9, 10. 10 pound dollar. Get 10. We got 3-way dance. Who's next? 10. Get down 10. Get 10 pound dollar bid. Get 10 pound. Get 10 pound. Get 10,000. Get 10. Get 10 bid. 10. You want 10 guys? Get 10. Now 11. Now 11. 11. Hang 10 pound. Down 11 pound. Got 10 bid. Now 11 pound. Get 10 bid. Get 11. 10. Get 11 pound. Bid. You want to give 11? Get 11. Get 10 bid. Get 11 pound. Bid. Get 11,000. Get 10. Now 11 pound. Bid. Get 10 bid. Get 11 pound. Bid. Get 10,000. 11,000. 10. 11. Reserve is off at 10,000. 11,000. 11, see all done, 10 bids, 11,000, $10,000, $11,000, $11,000, David get 10 here, now 11, 12, now 12, 12,000, don't be a bridesmaid twice, 12, you run out of dresses, Iron David get 12, Iron David get 12, Iron David get 12 pound, all done, Iron David get 11,000, 12,000, $13,000, what do you got? 11,500, 12. 11,500 to bid, $12,000. 11,500, 12. 11,500 to get 12. The 12 pound dollar later done. Last call, 12,000, 12,000. So $11,500 for Laura's way.
Offering now.
11.5. Congratulations, Mike Conapack. You guys in the comments, please join us in congratulating Mike Conapack. Well, guys, congratulations to Mike Conapack. Beautiful motorcycles going to a good home. That's pretty cool, though. Back in Black, Brian Johnson. AC/DC, one of the greatest selling rock albums of all time. Oh, John, I heard you may take a shot at these two strokes.
We'll take a shot at it.
What do you think? What do you think it's going to go for?
15 and up.
Wow, 15 and up, guys. Maybe a lot more than that. 4 H2s coming up.
72 Kawasaki H2 750. Original body parts were painted in the correct Kawasaki Blue Pearl, highly original condition, including factory frame, re-chromed the original bright work, professionally zinc-plated the hardware, many other things done from top to bottom. No reserve.
No reserve.
You're right there. 11 bid. I'm going to give 10, 11,000. It's 10, 11, 12. I'm going to give 12 pound. I'm going to give 12, 13 bid. It's 13. I'm going to give 14. I'm going to give 14. I'm going to give 15 bid. And 16, 17. I'm going to give 17. 17. I'm going to give 17,000. It's 17. I'm going to give 17. 18. I'm going to give 18,000 on a bid. 18. I'm going to give 17. I'm going to give 18 bid. I'm going to give 17. 18 pound bid. 18. I'm going to give 18. I'm going to give 18 here. 17. 18 pound. I'm going to give 19. 19. I'm going to give down 19. 18's appeared. I'm going to give 19,000 a bid.
Lord, 19.
I'm going to give 20. I'm going to give 20,000.
20.
I'm going to give 5. Last call down 5. Hit 5. I'm going to give 5. Down 5. 4. 5. Down 5.
Still going.
4. 5 bid. Down 5. I'd get a minimum 5. You get 5. Now 5, 5. 25, 5. Sorry, not a minimum 5, 5 bid. At 5, 5 here. Not get a minimum 5, 5, 5 half. Sutter 25. So 25,000.
$25,000, guys.
A 73 Kawasaki.
That was the 72. Here comes the 73. Let's see the gap in 1 year.
Factory oil injection system, no
Reserve
reserve.
it is. I'd get a minimum 40. I'd get a minimum 30. I'd 30. I'd get a minimum 5 and 7. And now 5, 7, 10. And now 10. I'd get a minimum 10. I'd get a minimum 20. I'd get a minimum 20,000. Now you're 22. And now 2 here down. I'd get a minimum 2. I'd get a minimum 2. Down 1, 2. And 1. Down 2. I'd get a minimum 2. I'd get a minimum 2. Down 3. And 3. I'd get a minimum 4. Down 5. I'd get a minimum 5. I'd get a minimum 5. I'd get a minimum 25,000. And 5 down a bit. I'd get a minimum 5. Down 5. I'd get a minimum 4. I'd get a minimum 5. Down 5. Down 5. 6 higher. And 5. I'd get a
Wow, guys, look at this. The purple one might bring more than the original. I can't believe it.
26 out bid. And down 5. I'd get a minimum 6 here. I'd get a minimum 5. And down 6 out bid. I'd get a minimum 26,000. Sold 25. Sold $25,000 switches way.
Wow.
Here's Trev.
$25,000 sold.
And here on the block, now offering T205. That's a 74 Kawasaki H2 750 in long-term storage for decades prior to cosmetic refurbishment, completed in 2019. 5-speed, reupholstered 2-up seat with a passenger bar. No reserve. Really? Thank you, David at a 30. David get 30, David get 30, David get 20. Bitch, you want this one? David get $13,000. 13. David get 13, 14. David get 14,000. I get 13 to bid. David get 14,000. David get 13, David get 14. And 13,000. David at 14, 14,000 bid. David at 13, 14. And 13,000, 14,000. Anybody else here? And 13,000. David at 14,000. Now 15,000. 15. David get here 15, 15, 15,000. And 14 to bid. And 15. Jordy's way. David get 14, 15,000. All later done. Last call 15,000. Now 16, 16, 16. David get 16,000.
Oh, John's coming in.
If you want to get 15, 5, got 14, 5, 15, 5, and 14, 5, 15, 5, 14, 5, 15, 5, and 15,000.
John Cabral's thinking about it.
15,500. So 14,500.
Wow, 14,000, guys. So a huge drop off between the 73 and the 74.
5-speed, a 3-into-3 factory exhaust. No
Here comes the
reserve.
last year.
David get 20. David get 20,000. David get 20. David get here 15. David get 15. David get 10. David get 10,000. David get 10. David get 12. David get 15. And 5.
Wow.
500 at 25,000. David at 5. 500 David at 5. 500 David at 5. 500 David at 25. I got 24. Now 25, Sean. I got 24. Now 25. 24 to bid. 25,000. 5. You're going to get 5. Now 6. Now $26,000 over there. David get 25. Anybody else at 6? David get 26. Ryan, y'all done. David get 26,000. So $25,000 Sean.
Wow, 25. Congratulations, sir. You got it. Congratulations, man. What's your name? Where are you from?
Australia.
Big congratulations. Going back down under with an H2. Congratulations. Wow. He's taking it back down under, ladies and gentlemen. Very cool. Wow, so I guess the lesson there is you don't want the 74, or if you're looking to get one, 74 is the cheapest way in. Unbelievable. 25 a piece. And how about this? Taking it back to Australia. Congratulations, mate. Oh, guys, here we go. Here with the fast Canadian, Mike Conavaghi. Mike, we're getting ready to roll across the auction block. It's go time. How excited, how nervous are you for these C1s?
More nervous. We want to see them do really well.
We're rooting for you big time. We want to see at least 25 out of 73, right?
At least, yeah.
At least.
I'd like to see more.
And hoping 24, 25 out of the other ones too?
Yeah, that would be okay.
Wish him luck, guys. Wish him luck. Oh, God.
Unrestored original equipment bodywork, original tires as well. T217.1, a 73 Kawasaki Z1900. Comprehensive mechanical and cosmetic restoration, original frame with matching number, in running condition, and a powder-coated frame.
Wow.
Good looking bike. 30.
This is the Mike Conavaghi collection, guys.
7 goes 700. David get 7 to down 10, 10, 10 to get 10, 100 David get 12 bid, 100 David get 12 bid, 15,000, and 15, 15, 15, 17 to bid, 20 bid, 100 David at 20, and now 20, 20, 20, 100 David get 20 bid, 100 David at 17, 100 David at 20 bid, 100 David at 22,
and now 2, you're out there, 20 bid 2, and everything get 1, 2, and everything get 3, and everything get 23, and everything get 4, 5, 5, 25, 5, 7, 27, 6, 7, and everything get Mike, and everything get 27, and everything get 27 bid, and everything get 6, 7, and everything gets now 8, and everything get reserves off 30, and everything get 30, and everything get 30, everything get 30, and everything get 30, everything get 30, everything get 30, everything get 30, 30, and everything get 30, 30,000, got her 2, now 32, wow, 32, 35, 35, 35, yep, 500, everything get 35, and 35,000,
my gosh,
yep, now 7, and 37,
oh my gosh,
35, 7, and 35, 7, 40,
are you kidding me?
40, and 37, and down
no
40,
way.
pounds, and 100, everything get 40, yep, 40, and everything get 40, down 42, and everything get 42,000,
no way,
down 2, and 42,000, yep, 40, and everything get 2 to bid, 42,000, and everything get 42, 45, 100, everything get 45,000, 45,000, 100, everything get 45, and 45,000, 100, everything get 45, 500, everything get now 7, and everything get 47, 50, now just give me 50,
no,
just give 50, just give 50, you're shaking the head the wrong way,
where's
50, 50,000, 50,000, under David, 50, Zach, you want to get 50, and now 50, and David get 50,000, and David get 50,000, under David get 50, David get 50,000, under David about 50, and David at 50, got it, now 2, and David at 50,
oh my gosh, guys, a C1.
So $50,000, Zach.
$50,000,
yes,
my
you did.
quarterback,
Now
congratulations.
offering T217.2, an 86 Suzuki GS750S Sport Touring Edition, limited edition colors, adjustable suspension, no reserve.
Oh my gosh, guys, my quarterback, where's he at? Pac-Man, did I just see your bike that you were hoping to get 25 for? Did I really see a 73 go for 50,000? Is that a new record? That gotta be a record. Congratulations. Wow. You say you're buying yourself a drink right now? 147. He deserves one. I think dinner might be on the Pac-Man tonight. Holy moly, guys. Wow. Big congrats. I'm so happy for this guy. What's the drink of choice, Mike?
Crown apple and ginger.
I'm so happy for you, man. Put it here once again. How in the heck? I thought that thing was going to stall out at like 30, which I was happy for you, but then it runs all the way to 50.
Comprehensive mechanical and cosmetic restoration, original frame with matching number, in running condition, powder coated frame. Yep, get 25, get 25,000, 10.
Good Lord! Good Lord!
Good day for him. Good day.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
600, get 26,000 bid. Now you're running second, sir. You want to be $26,000. I got 25, 26. Anybody else? So $25,000.
The Pac-Man, 25,000. 75.
Restored both mechanically and cosmetically, original frame and running condition, powder coated frame.
And somebody get $30,000. Anybody get 30 bid? Anybody get 30?
Unbelievable.
The reserve is up. Give 27, 25 bid. Anybody get 26? At 25 bid, anybody get 26,000. I have 25 bid. Anybody get $26,000. Anybody else?
Go on.
So $25,000.
25, that's exactly what he wanted.
Offering lot T219
Last one.
1975.
Last one
Kawasaki
for the Pac-Man.
Z1R, comprehensive mechanical and cosmetic restoration, original powder coated frame with matching numbers in running condition.
$30,000. Anybody get 10 bid? Anybody get 15,000? Anybody get 15? I have $10,000 bid. Anybody get 15,000? Anybody get 10? Anybody get 12? At 15,000. Anybody get 15? Anybody get 17? Anybody get 20? At 20 bid. Anybody get 20? Anybody get 20? Anybody get 20? Anybody get 17? 18, 18,000, you better give 18, you better give 17, 18. I have 17,000, you better give 18,000. Anybody else? At 18,000.
Oh yeah, Johnny! Way to go, John, way to go!
19 bid, 20. I have 19, you better get 20 bid, you better get 20, you better get 20. You want 20, sir? 20,000. 20,000. 20 bid, you better get 20. Now 22. I have 20 bid, you better get 22 bid, you better get 2, you better get 2. At 22,000, you better get 21. 20's the bid, 21. The reserve is up. 20 bid, you better get 21. I have 20,000, you better get 21,000, you better get 1 bid, you better get 21. Give it to me. 20's the bid. 21.
Oh, this is you.
20 bid, you better get 21,000. So,
John, you got it! John, my man, John, my man, you got it, Guys, John Cabral, I love it, my man. John, you did it. You did it, John. Big congratulations. So amazing.
I'm totally flabbergasted.
You got a little gas money to go back to Canada now.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thanks.
John, the motorcycle world is buzzing. We got 1 million views on CycleDrag Facebook.
Wow.
Did we reset the market? Did we really get $50,000 for a 73 Z1900? How does this happen?
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, we've seen that happen here before. We've seen trends begin. We've seen the evolution of different genres of motorcycles get under the microscope and explode in value, but I don't think any of us were prepared for a $50,000 hammer price on a first-year 73 Kawasaki Z1. Granted, the motorcycle itself could arguably be the best in the world. Some people said it was over-restored, which I would agree, and I mean that in a good way. It is literal jewelry, which sort of follows a trend that we see in the automotive world as well. Today's collectors like to see things that literally look like jewelry, and that motorcycle nailed it. Now, you said that. Will the market continue to see those kind of numbers on early Kawasaki Z1s? Don't know, but one thing's for sure, it's on everybody's radar screen right now, and that's going to be one market segment we're going to be paying a lot of attention to.
No doubt, I got a lot of negative comments out there. Of course, people that dream of owning them, they say, what are you doing now? I'll never own one. But I let people know, the best bikes come to Mecum. This is a competitive atmosphere. So maybe that's not totally the price that it will be across the board for classified ads, for private sellers. This is where you're going to get top dollar from Mecum.
Right, but I would think, you know, for those of you guys and gals out there thinking about a Kawasaki Z1 73 through 75, prepared to spend at least $25,000, but I'll give you a little tip, a value tip. If you bump up 1 year, 76, 1 year only, KZ900, it's essentially the same bike. There are a couple minor differences, but those have not yet seen the same type of appreciation, so that may not be a bad plan B for those folks on a budget that want that experience.
Did I mention there's a lot of motorcycles here? Oh my gosh, more than 2,000. Well, we have given him an opportunity to catch his breath. He still has a much-deserved celebratory drink. Mike, I gotta ask you, after a little bit of a disappointing start with the Z1R and the KZ, we were hoping 25, 27. What were you thinking when this thing hit 30, 40?
Just in total shock as it just kept going up and up. And my girlfriend kept sending me numbers, texting me, you know, 27, 29, 32. And I didn't get to see it until after. So it was kind of neat that she was just floored that the numbers were going up that fast, that high. So
does this mean she gets a new purse? You might have wanted to tell her it went for like, you know, 20.
No, maybe now I can buy another bike or two.
That is very cool. Well, you deserve it. Talking a little bit about your immaculate restoration too. Some experts have actually said, oh, hey, that's over-restored, but you proved them wrong. That's what they want. They want the shiny bike here.
It seems in North America that we do want the shiny. Maybe somewhere else they want the correct parts, the correct big-coated parts. But over here, we're not able to do some of that restorations. We can't even find a good chroming shop in Canada.
Now, from start to finish, how long will it take you to do one of those jobs?
It's hard to say, depending if it's in the middle of boating season. I'm not working too hard on them, but sometimes, you know, I take a break and go racing. So it could be 3 months, could be 4 months.
That's still quick. That's awfully quick. And then finally, not to have a down note, because there's nothing that can dampen this video, but what do you think was up with the KZ900 only went for $11,500? I got to believe that's what you would list it for in a classified ad, or maybe even more, right?
It's hard to say. You know, they're both running, driving motorcycles, but they're not a full restoration. So they're more of a, you know, mechanical and cosmetic restoration that somebody can, you know, I don't know, they can drive it or, you know, still put it in their showroom and look at it. But it's hard to say why they didn't go higher.
A bit perplexing, but nonetheless, you hit a home run, Pac-Man. Congratulations. Cheers, guys. He deserved it. He deserved it. Cheers.
So,
$50,000.
Yes,
Mike
you did.
Konopacki,
Magnanimous, Trevor.
congratulations. Guys, I'm just buzzing. I'm on cloud nine. I'm so happy for my friend because believe me when I tell you this, I've known Mike Konopacki for 25 years and they do not come any nicer. They do not come any more humble. They don't come any better than Mike Konopacki. So big congratulations. Good things happen to good people, and congratulations to the new owner. How awesome is that? And I got a question for all of you drag bike racers out there that follow my outlet. I know some of you probably have drag bikes 73 with matching numbers. Is this inspiring you to maybe bring it back to street form, make it look a little bit more like this? You know, it's got to be absolutely perfect to command that. And I don't know that we'll see another Z1 command that anytime soon. That was an absolute unmitigated home run, but I think it's pretty clear that the 73, when you make it look like this, is worth a pretty penny. Let me know what you guys think down below. Also want to know, what do you think about the future of this market? You know, we've worried about the Gen Zs and the millennials not being quite as interested. We've worried about the market going down. They worry about that on the car side as well, but here's some food for thought. 2 years ago, when I saw this thing go for $25,000, I'm like, oh my gosh, the Z1s. Could have bought it and doubled my money. Is it in the realm of possibility that I'll be saying that in the next couple years? Could this really be a $75,000 or a $100,000 motorcycle? I don't know. I don't know where we're headed.
T85, a 1970 special construction Bob Braveman drag bike from the Kent Rich's private collection. A historic motorcycle drag bike built by Hall of Fame photographer and journalist Bob Braverman. In the late 70s, it features the original 50-year-old tires, and copy of the original magazine included. Sold on the bill of sale.
Last call at $9,500.
Wow.
Offering out T86.
Reserve not met. The bid goes on.
$9,500.
$9,500.
Private collection featuring the very rare radial cylinder head. Sold on the bill of sale.
Jamie, 11.5, last call. 12.5, 12.5, 12,500, 12,500. I'll give you the same amount of time, sir. 12,500, I guess not. Never mind, 12.5 and a half. So, $12,000 Jamie.
Offering lot
1976 Harley-Davidson shovel head dragster. Guys, look at the old slick. Who remembers these little Goodyears? I think they were 3.5 inches. This shovel head was fast in the 70s, I guarantee you that. And we're about to see what it goes for here at Mecum Auction. Truly a piece of history. Truly something that the collectors are going to want. You Harley drag bike guys out there, get ready. Let's see what it goes for. Oh, jumped up there at the last minute. And you know what do us drag racers know, that anytime you modify something for the strip, you're going to get back pennies on the dollar unless you sell to another drag racer. And I think that's what we saw there. That was less than I thought for that classic motorcycle. The countdown continues, and that leads us to number one. And I must say, Mr. Kraman, you picked a good one, because maybe one of the most important motorcycles of all time, the unmistakable Kawasaki H2 750. This one, the last year for this model, 1975, affectionately known as the Purple People Eater. Why did you choose this bike?
So many reasons, Jack. You know, unrelated to this video, you and I last night at dinner with some other motorcycle fans were talking about our favorite all-time motorcycles, and we all had kind of a nice mix. And I told you my number one favorite was a purple 750 triple Kawasaki. And by sheer coincidence, we've got one here. So picking this as number one, a total no-brainer. Landmark motorcycle. The Kawasaki two-strokes really developed their early reputation as a real performer with the 500 triple in the late 1960s. But it evolved into a whole line of two-stroke triples with a 250 and a 350 and a 400 and a 500, but the top of the line is a 750. Now, by 1975, it toned down a little bit, about 75 horsepower, but this motorcycle still do well over 120 miles per hour. But it's not the hard performance data. It's the look of the bike, the styling, the wildness, the purple color, and the absolute utter shriek of that two-stroke triple that sounds unlike anything else in motorcycling. And the way that that power comes on is like there's an on-off switch. It's because of the large displacement, it's relatively tractable down low in the RPM range, but when you get up to around 4,000, 4,500 RPM, you begin to feel a surge, and by the time $6,000 comes around, you'd better have this dude pointed straight, and you'd better be ready for a rush of acceleration that even today is going to be tough to experience. So, and especially going back almost 50 years with this particular bike. And as we know, man, prices and demand for these things are white hot, on the rise. 10 years ago, this was an $8,000 motorcycle. Today, mid-20s conservatively, and I would expect that this one could even go well beyond that.
Well, I can see why so many say the 70s were the most transformative decade for motorcycles. I even wondered if Kawasaki knew what they had back then, because I liken it to a family who has a baby. In year one, that baby gets all the attention. Yep. Then here comes brother or sister, and they got to share the attention. Well, in 72, the H2 was it, and then here comes the Z1. I wonder, did the Z1 maybe overshadow the H2 and how special this bike was for the last few years?
Absolutely, you're exactly spot on. And you know, being a classic baby boomer, I was there during this era. I remember it, and I remember the first 1969 Honda CB750 that I saw. That really started. That was the bike that really showed, holy smokes, Japan is coming on strong. Honda. Will the other manufacturers be able to catch up with it? Well, Kawasaki about the same time came out with their 500 triple I talked about earlier. A wicked performer for its displacement, but a lot of fun to drive, and developed a real raucous attitude. You know, a Hoonigan, that term probably wasn't invented back then, but the classic Hoonigan bike. But as the decade, the early 1970s evolved, and the baby boomers were starting to outgrow the entry-level, tiny, small displacement bikes that they learned to ride on, the manufacturers went crazy, especially from the Japanese. And I don't think anybody was more operating outside the box than Kawasaki, despite the fact that in 73, the big four-stroke, 900cc four-stroke hit the market as what I consider to be maybe the first muscle bike. That could be argued, because it could be the Triumph Bonneville in 1959. It could be, you know, the first Harley-Davidson Sportster in 1958. It could be almost anything. But that was the bike in the Kawasaki lineup. But nevertheless, the two-stroke triples continued on. They soldiered on as a lesser expensive way to go really fast on a budget. Now, fast forward 50 years later, the boomers are grown up. They're reliving their glory years. They're collecting. They're coveting bikes. And the 750 triple, especially in purple, it's an A-lister all the way.
Yes, it is.
$1,000 and the bid goes on.
Now offering F-145 from the Force Collection of 1925 BMW R37. Discovered 25 years ago at the Marxell Museum in Germany in highly original condition. The R37 was BMW's first competition motorcycle. Extremely rare tack and speedometer.
And somebody get $300,000. You're going to get three. You're going to get $250,000. At $250,000. Somebody get $200,000. At $200,000 bid. You're going to get $2 bid. You're going to get $200,000. At $200,000, give $150,000. $150,000. Somebody give $100,000 for it. $100,000. I have $100,000 bid. $120,000. $30,000. $130,000. $130,000. $40,000. $140,000. $50,000. $150,000. $60,000. $160,000. $160,000. I have $150,000 bid. 160, 70, 170,000. I have 160,000, 170,000, $160,000 is the bid. $170,000 for it. I have 160,000, 170, 180, 180, 170 bid, 180,000, 180, 175, 180, 180,000, 185, 185, 90, 190, anybody get 90, anybody get 90, anybody get 190, 190,000, 190, I have 185 bid, 190, I have 185 bid, 190,000, anybody get 190, 195, 195, I have 190,000, 200,000 is bid, 210, 200 bid, anybody get 210, I have 200 bid, anybody get 210, at 200 bid, anybody get 210, reserve is off, at 200,000 bid, anybody get 210, I have 200 bid, anybody get 205, 205,000, I have $200,000 bid, anybody get 25 bid, anybody get 205, I have $200,000 bid, anybody get 205, 205,000, $200,000 is the bid. $205,000, and you, sir, are being thunderstruck. 205, 205, 200 to bid, 205. Sold $200,000 to the telephone. Sold $200,000.
$200,000. Pleased to be joined with a true expert, Mr. Mike Wolfe, American Pickers. Mike, I heard this is your first trip to the Mecum Motorcycle Auction.
Never been here before.
What's your impression so far?
It's massive. It's overwhelming. I think there's like 2,000 bikes here, and there's anything from Husqvarna dirt bikes to rare belt drive Harleys. They do a really good job of presentation to where like you can see the bikes prior to them going up onto the podium, so you can kind of put your hands on them a little bit, walk all the way around them, which is really cool. And then if there's anybody here that knows anything about motorcycles, they're usually going to speak up and say, hey, that's got the wrong toolbox, or that's got the wrong speedo. There's a lot of familiar faces here for me. I've been doing this for a while, and a lot of these guys are my mentors, so it's nice to be here with them.
If you could pick just one from the show to take home, what would you take out of here?
I'm actually looking at a Pierce belt drive over here. It's original paint. Ooh. I don't have one of those, and so and there's not a lot of opportunity to buy one.
Sure.
So I'm going to throw my hat in the ring on that one and see what happens.
Well, I wish you the best of luck on that one. The only bad news I have for you, you're not going to do much picking here. I don't know if you saw yesterday, a Z1900 original. We thought it was going to go for about 27.
Yeah.
Smashes the world record, goes for $50,000.
Really?
Yes.
Original paint?
Original paint.
Did you see the bicycle that brought 83,000?
Unbelievable.
I know. So there's some money here, and there's some enthusiasm. The reality of it is like everybody here is a motorcycle person, which is great, and so it's just so cool to be around so many like-minded people, and there's an energy in the air.
Last question for you. Where's this market going? Some worry, will the Gen Zs, will the millennials keep this alive? Will they be as interested? Where do you see this all heading?
I think they will, just because a lot of the British stuff is still reasonable, and a lot of the Japanese stuff is, and that's the introduction a lot of times. I mean, you can still build a WLA pretty reasonable, Harley 45, and there's interest in it, but, it starts really at home, like for me, I had guys telling me, hey, go to the antique motorcycle meet in Davenport. I was probably 21 at that time, and that meet really helped me graduate into a lot of different levels in collecting. But it's getting out and talking to people. That's the big thing. It's like we can all sit home on our computers or be on our phones and look at pictures and stuff. But to come to a meet like this, it's really important, because there's just so many people here that are so passionate. It's hard to leave here without that.
Amen. There's nothing like it. I tell people, what else are you going to do in January? Well, thank you for what you do. I really appreciate the time. And if you see any Z1s or H2s when you're picking, please give CycleDrag a call, because that is our dream bike. And boy, they're getting hard to get. Things are drying up. So continue to have a good time. Thank you for your time, guys. American Pickers, Mr. Mike Wolfe in the house. He is the man.
Let's see what the R62 goes for. The R62 was BMW's first 750cc touring motorcycle, produced for only 2 years with the bent tube frame.
And somebody give $100,000 here, 100. At $100,000 bid, 100 bid, you want to get 30 bid, 40. I have 30 bid, you want to get 40, you want to get 40, you want to get 50 bid, you want to get 50. I have 40 bid, you want to get 50,000, you want to get 50. And now 60,000, you want to get 60 bid, you want to get 70. At 70 bid, 80. At 80 bid, you want to get 80, reserve is off. I have 80 bid, you want to get 90, 90, 100. 100 bid, 100 here, you want to get 1 bid, you want to get 100 here, 100. 100 bid, 110, 110, 110 bid, 100,000, 105, 105,000. I have 100,000, 105. Last call, 105. So $100,000.
Wow, congratulations.
Now I'll bring out 146. One, two, 21, 22, 22, 10.
And here's a 1986 Suzuki GSXR 1100R Skull Bandit Racer. This one full restoration. It has got a Yoshimura exhaust. It's also got a fully built Yoshimura race engine. Nice to see a lot of the race bikes here as well. They have their place in history. Maybe not quite as collectible as some of the early street bikes, but for you race fans out there, how awesome is this machine? Really brings back some memories.
2 Suzuki GSXR 1100 Skull Bandit. Comprehensive concourse restoration. 2-year build, sourcing special trick and kit parts from over 6 countries. Off-highway branding.
Here we go, guys.
Now 12, now 13, now 13. I'll get a bit of par, get a bit of 13 bid. 13, I'll get a bit of 13, I'll get a bit of par, get a bit of 13,000. And 12 bid, I'll get a bit of 13, I'll get a last call, sir. I'll get a bit of 12, and if you get 13 bid, I'll get a bit of 15, I'll get a bit of 15, and 13 bid. Asking 15,000, 15,000, 15 bid, 15, 14, 15 bid, and 15, 16, I'll get a bit of 15 bid, 16,000, I'll get a bit of 16, that's gotta go. 15's here, 16 bid, 15, I'll get a bit of 16, I'll get a bit of 16, 15 down, get a bit of 16, 16, 17 bid, down 17, 16, 17 bid, reserve is off, 16, 17 bid, 17, I'll get a bit of 17, I'll get a bit of swirly, get a bit of 16, I'll get a bit of 17, 18, 18 bid, 18, I'll get a bit of now they're coming in, I'll get a bit of 17, 18, 18 bid, I'll get a bit of 17,
what a
18,
comeback.
I'll get a bit of 18 bid, down 17, 18, I have sold 17, sold 17,000 to the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Joined by a true legend, Mr. Chip Foose. Chip, I gotta ask you, what is your impression of the Mecum Motorcycle Auction?
Oh, this is cool. You know, I'm known for cars, but I love the bikes too, and I love bicycles as well. So this is the first time I've been to this auction, and I will be back.
What do you think about the market? It just keeps going up, like with the cars. We saw a Z1900 that was expected to go for 25 yesterday, go for 50. I mean, it keeps going up.
How about that bike with the airplane motor?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Well, if I made you big, if you could get one motorcycle out of here, which one would you take?
One bike out of here?
One bike out of here.
Boy, I'm not sure. That's a tough bid.
Well, maybe you'll leave with one. Are you a registered bidder?
No.
Hey, that's all right. Probably better off that way.
Playing it safe today.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. He is the legend, Mr. Chip Foose. And 1986 RG500 Gamma. Great bike by Suzuki. Guys, it's a 2-stroke sport bike. $50,000 is expected to bring in. This one came from Canada, not many miles or kilometers on this one, I should say. These things were so cool, not produced for very long, and there weren't many of them out there. We saw one at 2-Stroke Bike Week at Tail of the Dragon last year that was attracting all types of attention. You can see that video right here on CycleDrag YouTube under 2-Stroke Bike Week. It is super cool though, that is for sure. A 2-stroke sport bike.
Canadian Model 1 owner in the original condition with off-road branding.
Yep, right. David
RG Gamma, guys, highly desirable.
28, sir. Act 37 now, 8 pound, last call. $7,000 on the
Sold
internet.
for 37. Well, guys, I told you there was variety here. I wasn't expecting this, a full Harley race bike, CVO with all kind of goodies. We saw a 1919 Harley. I didn't know we were going to see a 2019 Harley, and look who bought it, Mr. Z1B, John Cabral and his buddy. Let's go check this motorcycle out. John, what in the world is this beauty doing here?
Hey, some people, you know what, maybe they're at home and they want to get rid of their bike. You know what, auctions are auctions. I mean, something what they are. This was a good buy.
Yes, it was. Tell me a little bit about it. We got a lot of drag racing goodies.
2019 CVO with the built, what is it? 130, 140? What size cubic inches?
130 something.
130 something cubic inches.
Wow.
It's got a swing arm, chain drive.
It's beautiful. And the final hammer price?
Oh, it was 42.
I love it.
But it's got barrels. It's got dark horse crank welded up. It's got clutch. It's got R1S front end. What's it called?
It's
It's got
beautiful.
P&M.
I
It's
never
got
thought.
rotors. It's got wheels.
I never thought we'd see something this new. And sir, congratulations. One question, not to be a Debbie Downer here, but are you at all concerned? A lot of times when we see a fast bike like this it goes to the track and a guy's got to make a pass and show the time. Are you here? We can't fire it up. We can't take it down the track. Are you a little nervous that there could be something, perhaps?
Okay, go ahead. But wait.
Am I being too negative? I'm just asking the question.
But can he take apart anything?
Ah, so you okay? So you got the confidence.
No. They ain't confidence. Can he take apart anything? He'll take a piano apart and put it back together.
You're the man. You're the man. Yeah. This is a good buy for you, but I was just playing devil's advocate here. Is there a chance maybe there's a reason they could have put it in this auction? Maybe.
If it is, you just fix it.
It's fixable. I like it. Well, congratulations, and it is.
The business to do that.
Amen. Amen. Beautiful bike. Good job.
Everybody, Jack, I've known this guy probably 20 years from HDRA racing, and when he was just out there having fun with it, I look at him, making a living out of it. Guy, keep helping, keep sponsoring him. He goes to everybody's place,
You're
and
the
he's
man.
awesome.
Thank you very much.
He's awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I don't know if I'm making a living, but I'm having fun, right? That's it. We'll set up a big grudge race.
Well, no. But get this. This ain't a grudge race. This is a street bike for him. I mean, this ain't he gonna go out and beat on it. But don't get next to him
There
either.
we go.
Don't get next to him.
next to him.
Don't get next to him.
And we're calling out Asim Chowdhury, the great man out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Watch out,
Hey,
Gaddafi.
see, it won't be at the track. It'll be on the street.
Oh.
Maybe in front of that club you got there. Well, we can show some.
I've seen a few.
Yeah, I think you got one. Hey.
I've seen a few.
Yeah,
I've seen a few races out there.
Like I said, this is not going to be banging out and breathing up on it. Someone built this, but also you can take this thing and enjoy this bike. Enjoy this bike.
Goodbye,
big
guys.
Power, big
Goodbye.
power.
I told you, you never know what you're going to find here at Mecum. Beautiful motorcycle, man.
$30,000 in aftermarket parts on it.
Yamaha DT100 with a two-stroke of
You go to motor pistons.
Guys, things are winding down here. It's interesting to see how this auction concludes. Some of the bikes already long gone, shipped out of here. Some of them will wait another day or so. I believe that's the deadline. You see that garage door? They got haulers out there. There's also a gentleman from Mecum. There's a team of people. They check out every bike with a barcode. They look it over. They verify VIN. That's a very important process because, look, when you're dealing with this much money, they told me they've dealt with some unethical, unscrupulous people, and perhaps with a couple bikes looking the same, that's a complicated process, and it's something that you have to ensure to these buyers and sellers that their motorcycle is going to be protected while they're here, and so far Mecum doing a wonderful job at that.
Is As Found Collection, a Mecum main attraction collection, 1946 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead Trike Project. A project started in the 1970s and was never finished. Found in northern Iowa, Knucklehead V-twin in it, rake fork front end, and sold on a bill of sale. No reserve. As Found Collection.
20 pounds and out of bed. You're 20. Some get 10. 10 pounds and out of bed. 15 pounds out of bed. 15 pounds and out of bed. 13. 13 pounds. 18, 19. 18 glass collar. 18 pounds red. 19 pounds red. Sold $18 sold $18 on the internet.
Lot S317.
I'd say Mike's got to be happy with that.
That's a little high.
Yes.
With great patina
Celebrity
finish,
finder, that's what happens.
Saddle seat and center stand with Yale Manufacturing Company frame badge. Sold on a bill of sale. No reserve.
30, 20.
Yes, collection.
20 bed, 10 pounds and out of bed. You're 10. 10 pounds and out of bed. Down 10 to bed. 5 bed, 15. 14, 15. 15 pounds and out of bed. bid down down. I have 15,000. I have 15,000. 16,000 dollar bid. I have 15, 16.
Wow, Mike's got to be loving this.
$15,000, George.
Lot S318 of 1972. BMW S319 from the Mike Wolfe As Found collection of 1938 Indian Chief rolling chassis. Remarkably complete unit with the front fender and Chief face light, gas tank front and rear brakes, clutch pedal and linkage. So
Number 10. 20, 10. Good. 5,000 out of bed. 5, high down, 5 here, down 5,000 out of bed. 5, down 7 pound out of down 7 to bed, 10 to bed, 10 to bed, 10 pound out of bed. Good 10, high bottom out of bed, negative 10, 10, 10, 10, gonna be 10 to bed, 12 to bed. High 10 pound out of 12, give it back to 10. High 8 pound out of 9, 9, 10, high 9 negative 10 to bed. High 9, let's get loud. 10, 11, good 10, 11, high negative 10, 11, high 10, 11, there you go, 10, 11, high 10 to bed, 11, negative 5, 10, 10, 11, good 1. Good one, 13 pounds out. I have 13 pounds, and now I'm going to do 13, I'm going to do 13. I have 13, I have 12, 5, 13 pounds, and I'm out. I have 12, 5, 13 pounds, and I'm out.
Unbelievable.
13 pounds on. Make some noise. You're kidding. What an outstanding weekend. Wow. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for staying late. You guys thanks to Mike for bringing his bike.
Congrats, Mike. Congrats. Well, I think it might be safe to say you ladies have some dinner money tonight. Congratulations. How about it? Mike from American Pickers closing it down here. What was a great Mecum 2023, ladies and gentlemen. How awesome was that? Well, guys, we did it once again. Really hope you enjoyed the coverage from Mecum. There are many more Mecum videos. We have some from last year, the year before that. Get caught up. John, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much, guys. Kraman, check him out. He is great on the broadcast that you love on Motor Trend TV, on the Mecum website. They're awesome. And guys, if you like this video, here's another one for you. Subscribe right in the middle. We got tons of Mecum coverage coming your way. If there's anything fast or collectible motorcycles, we're in. CycleDrag rolls on.
Right on.